close your eyes for a second. Imagine you have never seen water beyond a river, never seen anything beyond the forest and the plains you were born in. Your entire world is maybe 50 square miles of land. That is all you know. That is all anyone you have ever met has known. And then one day, you walk over a hill, and it is just there. Water. But not like any water you have seen before. Water that goes on forever. Water that moves on its own, breathing in and out like something alive. Water so vast that the sky falls into it at the edge of the world. You have no word for what you are looking at. You have no framework, no story, no explanation. Just this. What do you do? This actually happened, not once, thousands of times. Over hundreds of thousands of years, different groups of ancient humans, scattered across Africa, Asia, Europe, each encountered the ocean for the very first time. And nobody was there to record what happened. But scientists, archaeologists, and anthropologists have spent decades piecing together what that moment was probably like. And what they found changes everything about how we think about our ancestors. First, let's understand who these people actually were. We have this image of ancient humans as simple, primitive, barely thinking creatures grunting at each other. That image is completely wrong. By the time ancient humans first reached coastlines, around 160,000 to 200,000 years ago based on current evidence, they were cognitively almost identical to you. Same brain size, same emotional capacity, same ability to feel wonder, fear, curiosity, and awe. The only difference was knowledge. They knew less, not because they were less intelligent, but because knowledge takes time to accumulate. So when they walked over that hill and saw the ocean for the first time, they felt everything you would feel, multiplied by 1,000. Because you have seen photographs, you have heard the word ocean, some part of your brain was already prepared. They had absolutely nothing. The first reaction was almost certainly fear, pure instinctive animal fear. Think about what the ocean looks like if you have never seen it before and have no explanation for it. It is moving, constantly, on its own, with no wind pushing it sometimes, just breathing, in and out, in and out. It makes sound, a deep, continuous roar that never stops. It has no end. In every direction you look, nothing, just more water until it disappears. And then a wave comes, a wall of water moving toward you at speed with a sound like thunder, and it crashes at your feet, and the ground underneath you shifts, and the water pulls back and tries to drag you with it. Your brain has one explanation for things that move, make sound, and try to grab you: predator. Researchers studying indigenous groups who had limited contact with the ocean found that the initial response to the ocean was almost always retreat. People backed away, some ran. The instinct was identical to the instinct triggered by a large, dangerous animal. The ocean felt alive to them because nothing in their experience had prepared them for something this large, this loud, and this relentlessly moving that was not alive. But here's where it gets fascinating. They came back. Every single group of ancient humans that encountered the ocean came back. Not immediately, sometimes days later, sometimes longer, but they came back. And this tells us something profound about who these people were. Curiosity won, even against fear this overwhelming, even against an instinct screaming danger, even with zero explanation for what they were looking at. They came back because something in the human brain, something that was already fully formed 160,000 years ago, could not leave a mystery alone. The second time they approached it differently. We know this because of what archaeologists found. At Pinnacle Point in South Africa, one of the oldest known coastal sites in human history, dating back around 164,000 years, ancient humans were not just visiting the ocean, they were living beside it, and they were experimenting with it. Shell middens, enormous piles of discarded shellfish, tell us they figured out almost immediately that the ocean contained food. Not just any food, the best food they had ever eaten. Shellfish are extraordinarily rich in omega-3 acids, zinc, iodine, and protein, nutrients that are incredibly rare in an inland diet. Some researchers, including the scientist Curtis Marion, who led excavations at Pinnacle Point, believe that this coastal diet may have directly fueled a surge in human cognitive development. In other words, the ocean did not just feed ancient humans, it may have literally made them smarter. the first people to stand at the edge of the ocean in terror. Their grandchildren may have been more cognitively advanced, specifically because their grandparents overcame that fear and went back. But food was not all they found. They found color. Ochre, a naturally occurring red and yellow pigment, was being processed and used at Pinnacle Point at the same time humans first arrived at the coast. They were decorating themselves, marking their bodies, creating identity. The ocean may have triggered something beyond just survival. Standing at the edge of something infinite, something so vast it has no explanation, may have been the first time a human being ever felt genuinely, consciously small. And feeling small in front of something bigger than yourself is, according to psychologists, one of the primary triggers for what we call awe. Awe is the emotion that makes humans create, make art, invent stories, build religions, search for meaning. The ocean may have been the first thing that ever made a human being ask, "What is all this for?" There's a theory among some anthropologists called the aquatic ape theory, which is controversial but interesting, that suggests humans spent a significant period of our evolutionary history near water, that our loss of body hair, our upright posture, and our layer of subcutaneous fat, and even our instinctive ability to hold our breath, are all remnants of a time when water was central to our existence. Whether that theory is correct or not, what is undeniable is this: every major ancient human civilization grew up beside water. The Nile, the Tigris, the Euphrates, the Indus, the Yellow River, every single one. We did not just discover water, we were drawn to it. Something in us, something very old and very deep, has always known that water is where life is. And here's the thing that stays with me. Right now, somewhere in the world, someone is seeing the ocean for the first time as an adult, and researchers who study that experience consistently find the same thing. People cry. Not from sadness, not from fear, from something they can't name, something overwhelming and ancient and completely beyond words. And maybe, just maybe, what they're feeling in that moment is exactly what their ancestor felt standing on a hill 160,000 years ago, watching the water breathe for the first time. The same brain, the same feeling, separated by thousands of generations, but connected by one impossible, endless, terrifying, beautiful thing. The ocean was there before we had words for it, and somehow it still makes us run out of words today.